Japanese fishermen start a long day at sea from the early dawn, when the sun has just appeared on the horizon. The white-capped waves roll under the dim light. They are present on small but sturdy boats, fully equipped with the necessary tools to hunt for scallops. Each of their preparations is carried out carefully and precisely, from checking the nets, anchor lines, to special tools used to detect scallops on the seabed. Experienced fishermen will listen to the sound of the waves and wind. Observe the color of the water to determine the area with the highest concentration of scallops. When the boat enters the target sea area, they drop special tools into the water, usually net baskets or small machines capable of exploiting scallops without damaging the surrounding marine environment. Collecting scallops is not simple, requiring dexterity in every operation. When the basket or machine is lowered, fishermen will use levers. Hands and sometimes tools are the small tools to skillfully separate the scallops from the sand or coral bottom. Each scallop is carefully picked up by them, avoiding breaking the shell or damaging the meat inside. This process is repeated many times. Each batch of scallops is collected in seawater tanks, keeping them alive and fresh. Besides exploitation, fishermen also have to observe the surrounding environment. Remember places with high scallop density or areas that need to rest to ensure long-term profits. The work ends when the sun rises high. The ship begins to return to shore. Heavy crates of scallops are brought to the deck. The live scallops dance in the water, creating a bustling and lively scene. When returning to shore, fishermen classify the scallops. The qualified ones will be sold to restaurants, seafood markets or exported. The unqualified ones are processed or released. This job seems simple but contains patience, skill, experience and love for the sea. Every day at sea is a challenge, but it is also a joy to see the fresh batches of scallops from their hands bring value to the community and preserve the long-standing fishing tradition of Japan. After completing the work at sea, Japanese fishermen do not only stop at harvesting scallops but also focus on preserving them to ensure the highest quality when they reach consumers. The fresh scallop crates are put into temperature-controlled seawater tanks, where the water is continuously circulated to maintain the natural habitat for the scallops, while minimizing stress on the creatures. During this process, experienced fishermen continuously check the health of each scallop, removing weak or damaged ones. They also carefully record the quantity, size and origin for effective management. In addition, a portion of the scallops are processed right on the ship. The shells are cleaned. Sand and mud are removed. Some batches are prepared for direct sale to customers or high-end restaurants, which requires skillful techniques, meticulousness and many years of experience. And at the same time, Japanese fishermen always respect the laws of nature. Avoid overexploitation in an area to protect long-term resources. The process of catching scallops is not only a job to make a living but also an art of combining people and nature. Between technique and experience, between patience and sensitivity, each trip to sea is a new challenge with the weather, ocean currents and characteristics of each sea area. But it is also a source of pride when they preserve traditions and bring to society fresh, valuable and safe seafood products. This culture has existed for hundreds of years, from generation to generation. Becoming an indispensable part of Japanese life and cuisine. Each scallop when enjoyed is proof of a long journey, full of effort, skill and dedication of diligent fishermen at sea after long days at sea. The work of Japanese fishermen is not over yet. When they return to shore, they continue to meticulously classify, weigh and package scallops. The qualified scallops will be sorted by size, color and weight. This process requires high concentration to ensure that the products delivered to consumers are always uniform and beautiful. The smaller or substandard scallops will be separated to be processed into byproducts such as canned goods, traditional dishes or released back into the sea for regeneration. This both optimizes resources and protects the environment. At the same time, fishermen also coordinate with traders, restaurants and seafood markets to plan distribution. Ensuring that scallops are always sold fresh. Transportation requires specialized vehicles. Temperature and time are strictly controlled. At the same time, experienced fishermen also instruct young people on scallop preservation and processing techniques, passing on valuable experience so that the new generation can continue to maintain the traditional profession. In addition to harvesting and preservation, they also participate in research and protection of marine resources, recording the density, breeding season and living conditions of scallops to propose sustainable measures. All these efforts create a perfect cycle, from exploitation, preservation to distribution and environmental protection. The process of catching scallops by Japanese fishermen is not only a profession but also an art, a marine culture associated with ingenuity, patience, skills and love for the job. Each scallop on the diner's plate is the result of a long, elaborate and dedicated journey, reflecting both the intelligence and emotions of people who are attached to the sea day and night, preserving traditional values while bringing economic and cultural values to the community. In addition to harvesting and preservation, Japanese fishermen also face many challenges from nature. The sea is constantly changing. Big waves, strong winds or swirling currents can all interrupt the process. Fishing and dangerous, so they always have to be alert, predict the weather and plan their trips carefully. Observing the sky, water color, wind direction or signs from fish and marine life becomes a survival skill. On each trip, fishermen also maintain close relationships with other vessels, exchange information about scallop gathering areas, share experiences and support each other when encountering problems. This community spirit both increases exploitation efficiency and ensures safety. At the same time, they always respect local regulations on seasons and exploitation quantity, avoid overexploitation, protect marine resources and maintain ecological balance. Besides, new technologies such as positioning devices, seabed detectors, temperature and salinity sensor systems are also subtly combined with traditional skills, helping to find scallops faster and more accurately. But even with the support of technology, the human factor still determines success. From skillful hands, sharp eyes to experience, the long-standing tradition is irreplaceable. It is the harmonious combination of tradition and modernity, of people and nature, of patience and sensitivity that has created the typical scallop fishing journey of Japanese fishermen. Each trip to sea is both work and experience, both challenge and pride, all blend together to create a story about the ocean, about people and about the precious creatures that they cherish every day to preserve and develop the traditional profession, contributing to enriching Japanese cuisine, economy and culture. After each trip, when the main work is over, Japanese fishermen continue to maintain and prepare for the next trip. They carefully check the boats, maintain the machinery, repair the nets and fishing gear to ensure everything is in the best condition. At the same time, they also plan the new trip based on the experience and observations from previous trips, choosing the appropriate time, location and fishing method to optimize the yield and reduce the risk. In addition, they also maintain detailed records of the number of scallops harvested, the state of the marine environment, and breeding areas. Which helps create important data for sustainable resource management. Children in the fishing village learn from real stories, from the experience of going to sea to how to protect the environment, from scallop processing to transportation techniques, all of which create a chain of traditions that are preserved through many generations. In addition, fishermen also participate in festivals and rituals related to the sea, praying for a bountiful harvest, peace at sea. This community cohesion helps strengthen the unique marine culture of Japan. The process of catching scallops is therefore not only a labor but also a part of culture, a way of life in harmony with nature, reflecting the intelligence, experience, patience and dedication of people. Each scallop is brought from the seabed to the dining table, from the hands of fishermen to the hands of customers, carrying the story of the sea. Of the long, hard but proud days, of the art of living and working of people in the land of the rising sun. Each batch of scallops is not only food but also a symbol of perseverance, ingenuity and love of the sea that Japanese fishermen dedicate their lives to preserving. Throughout that long and harsh journey, Japanese fishermen always maintain a sense of responsibility for their profession, for the sea and for the community. They understand that each scallop is not only a source of income but also an important part of the marine ecosystem. So they always comply with sustainable exploitation regulations. Sustainable only harvesting qualified scallops and leaving spawning areas for natural scallop development. In parallel with exploitation, many fishermen also participate in seafood research programs, cooperating with scientists to monitor the fluctuations of scallop populations, study migration habits. growth rates and ideal living conditions, thereby proposing measures to protect long-term resources. This understanding helps the fishing community develop their profession sustainably, while ensuring that future generations still have the opportunity to continue the long-standing tradition. Every step in the fishing process, from going out to sea, searching, harvesting, preserving, classifying to transporting, requires ingenuity, patience and exquisite experience. These skills are not only learned from books but are passed down through many generations, from father to son, from real stories at sea, through each day, each trip, each scallop. Japanese fishermen gradually form a sophisticated art of exploitation, blending tradition and modern, between man and nature, creating a vivid picture of life attached to the sea, where every day at sea is a challenge. Every scallop is an achievement and every return to shore is a source of pride, all contributing to affirming the cultural, economic and spiritual value of scallop fishing in Japan, making it not only a profession but also a symbol of perseverance, ingenuity and deep love for the sea. Over decades of attachment to the sea, Japanese fishermen have also developed innovative fishing methods, combining traditional techniques and modern technology. From using specialized nets, optimally designed scallop baskets to seabed positioning devices, temperature and salinity sensors, helping them to accurately determine where scallops are concentrated without causing damage to the surrounding environment. Each trip to sea is a harmonious coordination between people and technology, between experience and practical observation. Careful preparation before lowering the basket to the seabed demonstrates high discipline and professional working spirit. While the operation of separating scallops from sand, rocks or corals requires absolute meticulousness and dexterity to keep the shells and meat inside intact. Each basket of scallops is pulled up, checked, cleaned and carefully classified. Those that meet the standards will be kept alive in circulating seawater tanks to maintain freshness, while those that do not meet the standards will be processed or released back to regenerate. This not only protecting resources but also maintaining ecological balance. The transportation process back to shore is also carefully calculated, ensuring optimal temperature, time and environment. At the same time, Japanese fishermen always teach skills, experience and knowledge about the sea to the younger generation, from how to observe the environment, read ocean signals, to how to process and preserve scallops. All creating a sustainable value chain, connecting people with nature, with the community and with traditional occupations. Each scallop on the dining table is not only fresh food but also proof of a long journey, full of effort, skills, enthusiasm and love for the sea of the persistent, diligent Japanese fishermen, thereby affirming that scallop fishing is a living symbol of marine culture, the ingenuity and devotion to nature of people in the land of the rising sun. In addition to the trips to sea, Japanese fishermen also attach importance to observing and researching changes in the marine environment. They pay attention to ocean currents, water temperature, color seawater, the presence of other organisms to predict the location of scallop concentration. This information is carefully recorded, combined with many years of experience to optimize the exploitation process.